So here's workshop 3. So workshop 3, what happens here is we start to explore exponents. Now, we do all sorts of things with these exponents. When you start to introduce them, we end up getting something called polynomials and monomials and binomials. They're all related. So basically what happened in the last couple workshops, we had some equations, we had some two variables, but everything had exponents of 1. Now we're going to look at stuff with other things besides an exponent of 1, exponent of 2, 3, and the various properties that go along with it. We'll look at the product rule, the quotient rule, um, and then also power to a power. And so we'll look at some different rules, and also we'll look at combining like terms of all these things with new exponents. So let's just go through real quick and just do some general rules here, and then just go over what's expected from this workshop. Of course, this workshop is a little bit different in that we have a midterm this workshop rather than just a quiz. So let's take a look here. So first thing, as we're going through here, let's just look at 3 general rules of exponents. So the first rule is called the product rule. And what that means is, say I have something like x to the second power times x to the third power. Whenever you have something that's the same base, and so let's increase this here. So every time we have something with the same base and you're multiplying, you can add those exponents. So that's the same thing as x to the 2 plus 3, which is x to the 5th. Another way to break that down would be, okay, that's x times x. And then the 3 here, that's times x times x times x. And so repetitive multiplication results in exponents. And so I have 5 in there, and that's how we get to x to the 5th. So for multiplying with the same base, we can add those exponents. That's the product rule. Now something similar happens when we're dividing. So when we're dividing, let's take a look at that real quick. Now this is going to be the division rule, quotient rule. Some people list it slightly different, but basically we're going to be dividing with the same base. So say we have x to the 5th power over x to the 3rd power. So what happens here is we have the same base, so we can now subtract the exponents. So this is going to be x to the 5 minus 3, which is x squared. And we can do a similar exercise that we just did before. So we can do 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So that represents the x to the 5th on the top. Now we have 3 on the bottom. 1, 2, 3. Now here, we have similar things on top and bottom. Now I can go ahead and cancel these. Now the reason why I can cancel why I am is because I have multiplication between those. Now if I had addition between those, you would not be able to do this. So if I had addition between those, you would not be able to do it like this. There's a few more steps involved. And like I said, everything builds upon one another. That'll be just an extra step later on when you go through the material for this workshop. So this is just multiplication here. So we're able to cancel like that. And if you notice, we're left with x times x, which is x squared. Now let's take a look at a power to a power. So a power to a power would look something like this. Say we had x to the 2nd power, and we're raising that to the 4th power. And so x squared to the 4th power. Well, what exactly does that mean? Power to a power, well, this time, now don't get this confused with the first one. This is definitely different. First one here, we had multiplication between the bases. We add the exponents. This is a power to a power, so we multiply. 2 times 4 is 8. So that's x to the 8th power. Oh, that was pretty bad, 8. Sorry about that. So now think about it. X squared to the 4th power. So we're timing x squared by itself 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now we can use the product rule. The product rule says if we have the same base, we can add those exponents. 2, 4, 6, 8. So x to the 8th. And if you want to break it down even more, that one's 2, xx, 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 xx. Oof, there's 8 of them. Holy cow. Alright, so those are just the general, very general, basic rules of exponents. Now that's going to be expanded upon a little bit into something like this. Say we have, now this is going to be a little different here, x plus 2. You notice right there, there's an addition sign. And we're going to say to the 2nd power. So many students will think, oh, okay, I will take that 2, and I'll bring the exponent in to both. That is actually incorrect. And the main reason why is now I have addition. So this might look like a power to a power, but it's different because of this guy right there. Because of the addition sign. It's got to be treated a little different, so there's one extra step. And so this here is actually the same thing as x plus 1, or excuse me, x plus 1, x plus 2, hello, x plus 2 times x plus 2. We have 2 of them. And now we're going to do something called FOIL. Now FOIL is just, some people like to think about it as a double distribution, and some students like FOIL. So what I mean by that is this. The F represents multiply the first terms. So x times x, the first terms. X times x is x squared. So the x went to the x. Now the x goes to the 2. X times 2 is plus 2x. And now we took care of the x, now we're going to have to distribute the 2. So that's why some students like to think about it as double distribution. I distributed x, then I distributed 2. So we did the first times the first, and then always the outer. The outer, x times the 2, the outers. Now the I is just representing the inner. And so I'm going to take the 2 and multiply by x. And so that's going to be plus another 2x. And then 2 times 2. And the L represents last. First, outer, inner, last. And so that's 2 times 2, which is 4. And so now another part of this workshop is going to be combining like terms. Now in order to combine like terms, you actually need to make sure that everything's the same. Exponent, variable, everything must be the same to be a like term. And so in the middle here, we actually do have 2 like terms. So we have the 2x and 2x. The variables are exactly the same, so I can combine them. And so this will go to x squared plus 4x plus 4. So now if this was multiplication, it would be another story. So if that was multiplication, we'll do it on the side here. Now this is if, this is not the same problem. So it would be x squared times 2x. Well, we have the x, we have this x, which are the same base. And technically in front of here is a 1, so 1 times 2 is 2. But then same base, add the exponents. 2 and 1 gives you 3. That's as if it was multiplication. We don't have multiplication here, we have an addition sign, treated a little different. So they have to be exactly the same to combine them. And when you combine them like terms, you're not multiplying, you're adding. 2 plus 2 is 4. I know this situation is kind of odd because 2 times 2 is also 4, so please don't make that mistake. So I'm going to do one more just to show you. Alright, so let's see here. We'll do x plus, and this time we'll do 5. And x plus, and actually we'll change it up. We'll do something completely different here. x plus 3. So we'll distribute the x to both. X times x is x squared. X times 3 is 3x. 5 times x, oh, now we'll grab another color here. And then 5 times 3. So that'd be 5x. And 5 times 3 is 15. So we have that 3x, we got that 5x, they can combine to be 8x. So I add those coefficients. Now coefficient is just a big fancy word for the numbers in front of the variables. And so that's just a general overview of some of the different topics you guys will be going into this workshop. And so let's take a look at the workshop again, just to look at the different assignments. Okay, so for workshop 3, we have this outline here. Again, you have that preparation link, which has all sorts of great videos as well. And I can also produce some too. You just let me know if there's a topic that you have a question on that you would like me to do a little lesson. That's no problem. So that's that preparation. That's not an assignment, but there's all those resources in there for you. So first assignment is the typical devotional. And then next, you have the 3.2 exponents in the real world. And I'll be doing a separate little video just to help get everyone started with that discussion. And that'll be posted there. And then we have workshop 3 homework. That's in the MLL homework. And now this workshop is a little different because we don't have that third discussion like in the workshop 2. We had a self-reflection. That's not there this time. This time we have the midterm. So the midterm exam is there. And, once again, you can try that multiple times. And I will keep the higher score. So just make sure you just work through them. And for quizzes and tests, right, it's a little different than the homework. The homework, you can correct each individual question. The quizzes and assessments, if you want to try to improve the grade, you will have to take the whole assignment over again. Now that's something that's set by the department, and I don't have any actual control over. So that's your workshop 3, and I will have live office hours during the usual times. Just make sure you email me, text me, let me know if you have any questions. I'm here for you.